Hey guys, welcome to this week's Swyftx Squawk with me, Pav, lead market analyst here at Swyftx. And today I wanted to cover just some of the major news in the week and really start to put together some of these pieces that we're seeing around waves of optimism. Now, obviously the last couple of months, couple of weeks, it's been a bit of a mishmash. Lots of investors and traders together, maybe finding themselves misstepping, either too bearish or too bullish. It's been a really difficult period to find positioning. But this week we did see Bitcoin almost hit new all-time highs on Monday, but we have seen prices move a little bit back down further to the downside, which we're yet to see why, but it may have something to do with the conflict that we're seeing unfold between Iran and Israel. This week, we have seen China and US take progressive steps to reversing some of the negative sentiment we've seen around the trade world to date. And there's been some interesting outcomes as a result. I think the key takeaway here is still that we might see more details emerge and further details materialize, but we are seeing some positive tailwinds coming out of this, especially with Donald Trump taking to social media, as he does so often, basically quoting that there's deals done and there's lots to look forward to. But I do have some quotes here from the Vice Premier, who basically said, China reaffirmed that the two sides should move forward with each other and honor their words with actions and demonstrate good faith and concrete efforts in fulfilling their commitments, jointly safeguarding the hard-won outcomes of the dialogue. Some of the key outcomes so far: the US will maintain a 55% tariff on Chinese goods, while China will impose a 10% tariff on US products. The more contentious piece most recently has been around the rare earth mineral trade and exports. Donald Trump suggested a deal that's been done there to resume these exports, which are very much used for US automotive, electronics, defense, tech industries, all the like. And we are seeing some other details emerge, but we'll still wait to see what else comes out of the wash as we head into next week. Now, this week, we've also seen a massive advancement in the regulation of crypto. And this has been through the US Senate, the Genius Act, squarely aimed at providing clarity and regulation of stablecoins. So we had the EU take to regulating stablecoins, dubbing them eCash and setting some parameters. But we may be now seeing the US, the largest GDP in the world, also set some rules for the game. And this is exciting. Now, the Genius Act, just to give some details on what it can provide, some of the provisions that it looks to enact as a part of its regulation is full asset backing. So ensuring that any stablecoin issuers would need to maintain 100% of backing in US dollars or highly liquid assets, which will be defined once we have the details. Mandatory audits, as well as foreign issuer compliance. So obviously, the one big benefit of blockchain technology is that it can be transferred between countries. There's no domicile to them specifically. Creating some rules around foreign ownership will help in enforcement, as well as understanding how each country will need to operate within this broader framework. Now, if we're starting to see this tariff burden on the world potentially ease, which may remove some of the trepidation from investors. And we're also starting to see stablecoins really set in stone as maybe the new way of doing business when it comes to transaction settlements. We can start to turn to the fundamentals on what do we know about the stablecoin market to date. Visa has a very interesting on-chain information, and what we've got here is a stablecoin transaction count. Now, this has been adjusted to basically remove a lot of the noise. Blockchain transactions, there can be bots, there can be inter-exchange movements that aren't necessarily representative of spend or transactions or value moving from person to person. So Visa's got their own modeling here where they're basically describing the change of transaction counts over the years. And it's a very simple trend. It's simply going to the upside. But this sets up a pretty interesting narrative. If we are moving into a more regulated industry, it may open the door for more of these stablecoin issuers to open up investment rounds and drive more value to the crypto space. Could stablecoins really provide the next key catalyst to get investors involved in the crypto space outside of Bitcoin? And I think the Circle IPO has been a real hallmark of what success can look like in that space. And it really does open the conversation up to, are we going to see more entrants to this space? Basically trying to mimic what Circle has done in its most recent IPO. But that's it from us here at Swyftx. We'll be back again next week to break down what's happening in the markets. Thanks.